What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to another Resplendent review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Resplendent A Tiki and going to be going over the builds that you can run on her, and at the end I'll have a special bonus segment. So Resplendent A Tiki is a red infantry dragon from Gen 1 and she does have Breath of Fog as the preferred weapon. She got this refined all the way back in 2018, so obviously it has not stood the test of time, and it does give her effective damage against dragons. And instead of odd turns, it gives her the 10 HP healing, kinda like Renewal 3. And then with the refine, she's able to get plus 5 attack and defense only if she's within 2 spaces of a sword or dragon ally. Now obviously this is hinting at Marth and Bantu, but still, having this condition is definitely not good, and there are just so many better weapons that you can use on her, especially nowadays with the arcane weapons being a thing. So if you're gonna be investing in her, then there's no point in wasting your divine dues on refining this weapon, and she can be compared to the other free-to-play red infantry dragons in Halloween Enna and Garen. So both of these do have much better resistance, which Adult Tiki is going to be lacking in, but still for an older dragon she does have really good physical bulk and also has high attack stat, and she can even be compared to the summonable 3-star 4-star dragons or a 4-star focus unit like Halloween Kurth Naga. So Bantu did get a weapon refined not that long ago, and it's definitely better than Tiki, but still she is overall going to be having much better stat spread than old Bantu. And Kurth Naga on the other hand is going to be having a very similar stat spread to her, but has got a bit more resistance at the cost of defense. So if you're going to be building up Tiki in the modern times, then you'll have to pick between either of these weapons. These are pretty much going to be the best dragon breaths that she can run, and we do have an option now that is not an arcane breath in New Sunstone Plus. So newer female Kana does introduce this, and it does give you flat damage reduction based on 15% of her attack, and also gives you the guard effect, which is both really good for the slow dragons like her. And then you also have Arcane Grima, which can give you the -1 special cooldown and also the guaranteed follow-up attack and the 7 HP healing, and it is going to be better than the Renewal 3 of Breath of Fog that she has got. So getting the guaranteed follow-up attack is going to be helping a slow dragon like her, and the healing is also really good for the self-sustain. And many times you can stack up the healing, so it can be an option if you want to go that route. But if you want to get the damage reduction, then you'll have to let go of the guaranteed follow-up attack that you get from the weapon. And I do think that whenever we get another arcane dragon breath, it is probably going to be specialized for the faster units, like it is with a lot of the second arcane weapons. So these are going to be your main options for a while. Resplendent A Tiki is going to be appreciating all of the dragon flowers and investment being a Gen 1 unit, and even if you don't really have a lot of premium skills to give to her, you can still make a decent build by making use of what you have in the Grail shop and also with the divine codes. So you can run her with New Sunstone Plus from newer female Kana, and this is going to be the best weapon if you're not going to be giving her any kind of arcane breath. And you can also get Dragon's Ire 3 from another copy of newer female Kana, and this is going to be functioning as a better quick riposte, and you're going to be able to get that flat damage reduction from this weapon, which is going to be scaling based off her attack. And the flat damage reduction is actually not pierceable by Deadeye lethality and stuff like that, so you don't really have to worry about that damage reduction getting pierced. So you want to stack up a lot of attack, and that's why you can run attack resistance unity from the divine codes, and attack resistance menace could be run in her slot C, because we did get a Fallen Male Morgan in the limited ephemera manual last year. So this is something you can run in your slot C if you don't really have other slot C options. And Defense Res Menace can also be run if you have already used up your Fallen Male Morgan combat manual. So this is going to be a build that you can make from the divine codes. And then if you want to run her with Arcane Grima as the weapon, then you can still get the skills from the divine codes like Mirror Stance 3, giving her the guard effect, and also Dragon Wall. So New Sunstone Plus does have the guard effect built in, and that's why you don't really need to run a stand skill. But with Arcane Grima, you can try and run the stand skill to get the guard effect in the combat, and you can also get Dragon Wall damage reduction because we don't really have easy access to counter Roar 4 as of yet. And if it is going to be available in divine codes at any point, then that is going to be the go-to slot B skill. And because of the special charges from her weapon, she can easily run Ether or even retaliate back with Bonfires or Iceberg, depending on if you want to get the healing or not. As it is, she's going to be getting that 7 post-combat healing with Arcane Grima. And if you want to double down on her defense, which is still pretty good, then you can try and run a more of a melee build with attack defense finish 4 and attack resistance tempo 4. So this is going to be giving you that damage reduction piercing, and having the full tempo effect along with the guard effect of New Sunstone Plus is going to be really good. So with this build, she's going to be able to retaliate back with bonfires that are going to be piercing through the damage reduction and are going to be doing a lot of damage with her high defense. And you can also run Time Pulse 4 to make sure that bonfire can always be a 2 cooldown special that you can easily trigger by using Steady Breath. If you can outsource the special charges, then you can run Distant Counter Dragon Sacred Seal if you want to retaliate back to the ranged enemies, because she can definitely take on many of the bow and dagger units. With this build, she's mainly going to be doubling down on her defense, so attack defense finish 4 is going to be perfect with the full tempo skill, and because of the null guard of the tempo, you're going to be able to easily run a Breath Sacred Seal. So for her IVs, you can usually go with plus attack IV, but depending on the build, you can either round up her bulk with plus resistance IV or run plus defense IV if you want to double down on that. And you can also run a build with Dragon's Ire 4, which is going to be giving you that attack and resistance debuff on the enemy, and also the guaranteed follow-up attack even in the player phase. And finish kill is going to be perfect when you're going to be triggering Glimmer on your counter attacks because of Time Pulse 4. So as we lag the minus and special cooldown in New Sunstone Plus compared to Arcane Grima, Time Pulse 4 could be an option that you can run, and finish skills are going to be really great for the self-sustain and also the true damage. And if you want to have some high investment Arcane Grima builds, then you can pretty much run Counter Roar 4 in her slot B, and this is going to be the best slot B skill with Arcane Grima because you don't really have to worry about getting the guaranteed follow-up attack as it is built in the weapon, and then you can retaliate back with icebergs that are going to be doing a lot of damage. So you can run either Bonfire or Iceberg depending on which refine you go with Arcane Grima, because if you refine her for the resistance, then she ends up having slightly more resistance than her defense, so you do get 1 extra point of damage with Iceberg, but you can also just run Bonfire if you want to. And then finish kill is going to be really good with the special charges of Arcane Grima, and Attack Smoke 4 could be run in the slot C so that you can get the follow-up negation effect and also get the buffs to your defense and resistance. This kind of build is going to be stacking up a lot of true damage with Arcane Grima with the finish kill, and also the damage reflection of Counter Roar 4, and also you're going to be stacking up a lot of the healing. With Arcane Grima and Counter Roar 4, you can get 14 after combat healing, and then with the finish kill, you're going to be having the in-combat healing. And because we're going to be missing the guard effect while running Arcane Grima, you can get Fire Flood Boost 3 in your slot A, which is going to be giving you better magical bulk, which Tiki really needs if you want to round up her bulk so that you can retaliate back to the mages. And you can also run Panic Smoke 4 as the slot C skill over Attack Smoke, because many times units are just going to be having the full null follow-up effect, so getting the follow-up negation from Attack Smoke isn't going to be mattering a lot of the times, whereas Panic Smoke 4 does give you the full penalty doubler effect, and if you run allies who can debuff the enemy, then you can just stack up even more stats because of this and debuff the enemy. You can also give her Attack Oath Echo at the max investment, because that is pretty much the best attune skill you can run as of making this video. And then finally, if you want to run her like a lot of the dragons and you want to take advantage of the scowl effect, then it could be run in the slot A. And even though Adult Tiki doesn't really have the highest resistance, and this kind of max investment with attack resistance Oath 4, you can try and meet the resistance check of the scowl skill against many of the nukes, but unfortunately a lot of the times many nukes are just going to be having more resistance than her, so you'll have to watch out for that. It's not the best option for her with the resistance check, and I kind of wish that we had attack defense scowl. That would have been the perfect skill that she could have run instead of trying to meet the resistance check. And because of the scowl skill, you're able to avoid the pre-charged specials or many of the units that have special spiral 4, and then use the damage reduction of Counter Roar 4, which is completely pierceable, unlike the flat damage reduction of New Sunstone Plus, but still it is going to be an option with Arcane Grima. If I had to improve the weapon refine of Adult Tiki, then I would pretty much make it so that she's able to get +4 to all of her stats just by being within 3 spaces of an ally. It doesn't need to be a sword or a dragon ally, and then she can also heal up 10 HP after the combat. So instead of having the renewal 3, I've upgraded it to post-combat healing like we have nowadays with a lot of the weapons, and I'm going to be giving her flat damage reduction based on 15% of her good defense, and this is going to be functioning similarly to Asker with its flat damage reduction. And unlike the New Sunstone Plus, it is not going to be just active for the first attacks of the enemies. It is going to be active even for the follow-up attacks. And she doesn't exactly have as much resistance as many of the dragons, so just capitalizing off her defense is going to be good. And then she can get another round of +4 to all of her stats, and also gets guaranteed follow-up attack from this weapon because she's really slow. And then finally, I'm going to be giving her the defense-based scowl effect. So her defense is more than resistance, so it does make sense. And she was the one to introduce the scowl effect in Fae with her Brave version. So that's why having this kind of scowl effect is going to be helping her tremendously with the flat damage reduction that is already unpierceable. And this is going to be a lot better than any kind of arcane weapon or inhittable weapon. So let me know in the comments what you think about my theory craft. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and a comment, helps you tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks down below or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more Fae videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Tiki's Refine in 2024. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.